Trey Benson is super cool. He got a super great landing spot. Cool. Super awesome.
What is this analysis? He's super cool. He's super awesome. Dynasty domain. You can slander us all you want, but saying that we don't take an L is legit the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like, we are so freaking dumb. We take more L's than anyone I know. Like, we are wrong. Like, of all things, I'm like, yes, of course we're idiots. Yes. We're not experts. We are stupid people with a camera.
I'll take TJ Hawkinson in the 7th round.
TJ Hawkinson's your cupcake. Gosh. Leave it in. Let's go. A new coaching regime. Wow. Hold on. A new coaching regime. Do I want to say regime? Regime.
This is when legends are made in Dynasty Fantasy Football. This is when you accumulate value the most. Yeah, I know. Thanks, man. Thanks. I really tried to think of something else and it just came out and it was really bad. But this seriously is, this is when you build a dynasty. There you go. This is when dynasties are made.
Coming off of last year where everybody thought, okay, Bijan's going to come in the NFL and score 100 points per game because everybody was, drafting him that high. And as it turns out, he didn't for a couple of reasons. A, Arthur Smith, and B, Arthur Smith. So now, without...
Is there a C selection in there?
If there was a C, I would say Arthur Smith is C.
That's fair.
Why was 6 afraid of 7?
I don't know.
Because 7, 8, 9. You never heard that? What?
Anyways.
To start for their respective teams this year. And when you're talking about having a QB3, what?
I just got the 7, 8, 9. Okay.
Are you?
Yeah, just move on.
Oh my gosh, the stupidity. Dude.
8, 9.
Okay.
Let's go.
How have you never heard that? Everyone's heard that joke, Nathan.
I don't know why it didn't resonate. I was too in the
This is what happens when you're homeschooled. This is what happens. That's what happens when you're homeschooled. If we win, it's because we're awesome, and if we lose, it's because we just let somebody else win.
Exactly.
So. Y'all, what is up? We're glad you're here. Yo. Glad you're joining us tonight. We are definitely going to do a Dynasty Startup Draft and definitely going to do a couple blueprints that we had left over from the other night. But I see lots of questions about the blueprints, so let's go ahead and answer the questions now. Because definitely had a couple people confused the other night. Not really even confused. We had some people upset. They're like, hey, if I would have known about this, I would have waited to buy my blueprint. So we're like, yeah, I get it. Sorry. Message those guys. They're all good. But listen, here's the deal with the blueprints. Here, I'm going to answer all your questions right now. If you buy a blueprint, will they get it to this stream? That was a one-time thing. It was a one-time special promotion, like buy a blueprint during the stream, we'll do it during the stream. Not applying it to tonight. We have to find a different way to do this because there are a lot of people apparently that want the blueprints on the stream. And we don't have the time or capacity to do it. Because here's the thing about the blueprints.
We're literally approaching like 1,000 all-time blueprints.
The blueprints are very high in demand, but they take us the blueprints are a good product because they take a long time to make. Like you saw our process for the actual team breakdowns, but going in and making the blueprints, as you can imagine, they look good because they're super hard to make. So we spend a lot of time on them, and so for us to be able to do that and then do a live stream, we end up spending like an hour and a half on a blueprint, and then when you have 60 in the queue, we don't have that much time. So we've got to figure out a good way to allow you to have live stream reviews and blueprints, but it's going to be some kind of premium package. So how much is a blueprint? It depends on are you a domain mother flocker? Because if you are, they're cheapest. You get 30% off. I don't know the base price, but it's the same all across the board for every creator. If you're a mother flocker, you get a blueprint and it's 15% off. If you're not a member of the site, it's the most expensive. So the idea is you become a member of the site. We'd love to have you. How do you buy a blueprint? Just posted the link in the chat so you can go over there. Again, if you buy a blueprint tonight during the stream, that doesn't mean that we're going to review it tonight. We've got to get the ones that we had left over from the other night.
He says Nathan's mic is quiet.
Oh, well, you haven't really talked yet, but
I know. It's probably me just mumbling.
No, I think you're as loud as me on here. So.
Yeah. Tanner says update on 2.0 or we riot.
2.0 is still in development. We're trying to perfect it. So it's getting there, but we're waiting a little bit. We want it to be really good. So here's what we'll say on blueprints for tonight. Because again, and so yeah, I bought one during Friday's stream. There wasn't enough time. It's still going tonight. Yeah, yes. Again, for the 50th time. If you bought a blueprint Friday during the stream and we didn't do it, we're gonna get yours tonight. So those are the ones we're gonna be doing tonight. Where is my blueprint? Is not printed. It's not blue. Yeah, there you go. Waffles here. What's up, buddy? So that hopefully that makes sense. If you have any other questions, ask in the chat. If you can keep an eye on that for me. But here's what we'll say for tonight. Okay. We need to be able to offer live stream blueprints to everybody who wants them, and so our solution to this is they're gonna. If you want a regular blueprint, you'll pay for a regular blueprint. If you want a regular blueprint and you want us to do it live on the show, it is going to cost extra. Okay, so that we have to do it like that, or we're gonna get slammed with demand. We don't have enough time to do all these. So we didn't really talk about this before the show, but if you buy a blueprint,
that's typical Tanner. Get used to it.
Yeah. You were just talking quiet. Yeah, there we go. For $9.99, I'll print it for you on blue paper. There you go. We're gonna do it, and also we've got people in the mock draft, so let's go ahead and go there, and let's do this mock draft because this ought to be. Oh, we do have some. I'm surprised there's not a lot of people in here, so let's go ahead and send this to you guys as well. But for the blueprints, here's what I'll say. This is going to apply to everybody from now until the end of time, until we decide we're going to either change the price or the rule or whatever. Your normal blueprints going to be the same price as they always have been since we launched the feature. But to have a blueprint and you want us to do it on the live stream and on the show, we're going to charge $20 above what a normal blueprint would cost. So however much is the minimum on your slider when you're buying a blueprint, if you go $20 over that, we'll do your blueprint live. Like that's what we have to do because we got to manage this demand. So if you want to do that, you send Nathan or I a screenshot on Discord that you did that much. You have to send us your invoice or whatever, and then give us your username and we'll do it on the stream. That's our compromise right now. So, all right, I'm going to drop this mock draft here for you guys in the chat as well. Hopefully that all made sense. It's been a whirlwind trying to figure all that out. My gosh. We freaking love the blueprints, but they can be a lot to manage. And Nathan and I are still part-time, so this is interesting. So, all right, here we go. You guys can jump in. It looks like, okay, it is full. And we're rolling. Dynasty Superflex Startup Mock Draft. It's good to be here after a crazy Friday. And if you're waiting for a blueprint review.
Turn that down. I'll be right back.
I got it.
Oh, my goodness.
I got it.
You have it, don't you?
Yeah, I got it.
Whew. I was about to lose it there.
Friday was nuts. So if you have a blueprint that didn't get reviewed Friday, you bought during the stream, it's going to be reviewed after the startup mock draft. So,
yeah.
All right. Can I still? So do I still get a blueprint even though I didn't get one last time during the live stream, or do they only do a limited amount? You can buy them whenever. They're just not all live stream.
You can buy as many as you want, man.
Yeah. And again, for a live stream, you go $20 over the minimum price, and we'll do it. We'll do it live for you.
Yep. Follow that purchase link that I dropped in there, and you can buy as many blueprints.
I'm glad you guys really like it. Like we're not unhappy about that. We love that, but we definitely have to be super careful, or we will never have any time at all. And Stefano's here, and he's ready for the blueprint. Yep, we're doing yours tonight. Had ACL surgery Friday. Oh man, will I be back sooner than Michael Thomas? Yes, you will.
4 years.
What's a blueprint?
Or actually, never. I guess Michael Thomas was never back.
A blueprint is our version of a.
Show him the fancy thing.
We just talked about it. I'll let it breathe a little bit. It's our version of a Dynasty team review, but it's the best version.
Yeah,
it's a Dynasty team review on steroids. All night stream, absolutely freaking not.
Oh, thanks, Becca.
What did Becca say?
She's just got to say those shirts are.
Yeah, Becca designed. Well, yeah, she freaking designed it all.
I know. I was just saying thanks.
How do people get in the mock before you guys send a link? I send it to the domain Discord. If you're domain motherflocker, you get it first. So our supporters. Yeah, there we go. We post it. Oh no, am I gonna get flamed? No, you're not gonna get flamed. I don't know. We're not gonna flame you. So again, for live stream blueprints, $20 over, and we'll do it. That's what we got to do. Hopefully get less questions about that. So Caleb Williams at the 2-4 in a Dynasty startup. When's the last time you saw that? I've been a long time since I've seen that, actually.
Probably pre-draft.
Yeah, easily. Because he's been going in the first
he was
recently.
still going higher pre-draft, but
So
I guess you saw more variance.
So like GK, he went Joe Burrow up top and then Caleb Williams second round. Interesting. Puka, Bijan, Marv, Jordan Love went in the first round, which is interesting. Started with Love and Murray, which I like the start,
definitely say Caleb's my favorite pick there so far.
Absolutely. He's great value.
Yeah.
Lawrence still going 2-8 and beyond in the drafts I've seen. So
2-8 and beyond.
Yeah.
Get it like to infinity.
I
2-8 because you just
I got it, buddy.
the infinity.
I definitely did. I definitely got it.
Okay.
You're a dork.
No, I'm not.
I'm setting our.
You
I
are.
gotta set our music. on.
Oh, there goes Jaden Daniels, almost back to back with Trevor Lawrence. I'll take Trevor with his fresh new contract over Jaden Daniels.
I will too. In fact, Trevor's still like my favorite pick in this range.
If Jaden Daniels went like here, I'm a taker. There,
Not a taker.
no, thank you.
Well, I mean,
thank you.
we've kind of established that one.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, again, it could end up paying off.
But I mean, in fairness, I don't always see Daniels going here. You see some variance, and you see him going in this range in the middle of the third sometimes. So that's a fine price there.
Look at that triple elite wide receiver factory already. Chase, Harrison, and London. Interesting.
Heck yeah.
The dual elite QB goes with a running back with Gibbs. I like that pick.
Yeah.
You have the flexibility to do that in a dynasty startup when you go dual elite QB.
Flexibility? Oh, yeah.
Because like,
Gibbs is a good value.
And I just feel like when you have like, if you went wide receiver, like I'd feel okay if you went running back, but I'd feel better about taking a running back in the third when you have dual elite QB.
Yep.
Because I mean, I just feel like the foundation is there.
Yes.
And a wide receiver, two wide receivers is a good foundation. But like, I'm interested to see what Corey Martin does here. But I mean, also A-Rich and Herbert and Olave is a good foundation as well. Yeah. Olave's, you know how we feel about Olave, but
we used to love Olave. We still love Olave.
I do love him.
We love Olave.
I do love him.
Love watching him play.
Neighbors, I figured that would.
Freaking Derek Carr.
Okay, so he immediately goes quarterback, and so that's kind of my biggest issue with when these startup drafts when you're going like double wide receiver is I feel like you're forced to take quarterback, or you end up in big trouble.
Yes.
Most of the time. Not always, but most of the time. And then so like you're forced to take Dak or Purdy or Tua.
Yep.
And they're good picks in Superflex leagues. But like I'm much more comfortable doing a wide receiver quarterback instead of a wide receiver quarterback. I like taking that first round quarterback and then taking a Dak or a Purdy.
Yep.
So you just feel less comfortable with Prescott or Purdy as your QB1. Not that they're bad, but
correct.
In an ideal world, how many quarterbacks went in the first two rounds? 5, 8, 11. So enough for each team to have one. In an ideal world, like a team would have one of those top 14 quarterbacks. So I don't think the Olave pick was bad, T, by the way. Just so you know. These running backs falling directly countering my thought. These running backs falling directly countering my thought merely 10 minutes after I make it. Correct. There you go. We just recorded the podcast with Ryan. So if you haven't checked out the podcast, I'll put that in here for you guys real quick. The podcast is...
the pod is awesome, man.
It's going. And we recorded a pretty interesting episode today. So if
yes.
Anybody that plays fantasy football, would recommend.
Yep.
But here y'all go. Again, it's just another way to get content. And we talk about stuff on the podcast we wouldn't normally talk about on the channel. So, all right. Drop your questions, drop your comments. We'll read as many of these as we can, but we're obviously going to prioritize super chats and not wear ourselves the frick out tonight like we did Friday. We're definitely like Nathan and I were pacing ourselves all day today.
We have.
And it's worked. I'm not dead yet, so. We got to do the blueprints, though.
Yes, we do.
Do y'all have plans to upload the pod on YouTube? So I've been working on it. I'm trying to. There's something wrong with when I try to do it. It's telling me, like, I'm having an error on the back end that's really weird. And I still haven't figured out necessarily how to fix it. So I'm trying, but I'm not sure what the deal is. Like, I don't even know who to call about it. It's telling me that like my RSS podcast feed is not like doesn't have an email or something. It's the weirdest thing.
Huh. That's weird.
So like I put it in here. Watch. Missing owner email for RSS feed. But like when I go to my RSS account, like I have an email.
Your email.
I'm trying to upload it to YouTube.
That's weird.
But we'll get there.
Yeah.
We wanted it to be its own channel. It's not necessarily fantasy or dynasty.
Yeah. And I mean, eventually in theory too, we're going to probably want to have some footage too.
Probably. I mean, hopefully it gets to be that good. So
that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Well, especially once we, you know.
You think we will?
I thought we purchased already.
Oh, you're talking about those. I said, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It would be cool. It's really the.
Oh, you thought when I said that I was talking about like
separate stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I mean, ideally, eventually, yes, for that too, even, but that's more down the road.
This is interesting. So Duggo took Stroud, Daniels, and Jared Goff in the first 3 rounds. So triple. It's not a triple elite QB technically, but triple QB start. It's just interesting. Yeah,
I would still probably archetype that as a dual elite QB just because of the value. You're taking 2 QBs in the first 2 rounds.
But not. I was saying not triple elite QB.
No,
because Goff doesn't count as that. But
Correct.
Still, starting with 3 QBs is something.
Yeah.
But Goff's a good value there. I do agree with that.
Great value.
See, I like Mahomes, McCaffrey,
Again,
and Tua.
I'm telling you, I don't see much difference. I understand the gap in price between Lawrence and Goff, but it shouldn't be that big. It's too big for me.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing Lawrence move up to here sometimes too, which again is merited, but it's Goff's price. Goff should be going higher.
Yeah. I think that's true.
I mean, he has like very little rushing upside, and he was easily a top 12 QB last year. Like, it wasn't even close. His passing volume is just ridiculous because they throw the ball so much.
Do you think, I guess we should make a video about this if necessary, but do you think CJ Stroud's a sell in Dynasty?
It is the whispers have been whispering about that.
It does happen, yeah.
The whispers, as in there have been multiple people that have DM'd me asking about it, what I think about it.
What have you said?
I've said I understand the sentiment. I'm not sure I'm necessarily there yet, but I do think there are plenty of scenarios where down tiering makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
I don't either.
I don't know.
I'm starting to get it, but
I get it. I really do, because I think with Stroud's skill set and what he does, I think you could easily see, like, let me just throw these 2 names out there, like Burrow and Stroud. I could easily see them flip.
Yeah, no,
just because of what they both do. So,
and they could flip the next year after that, like,
exactly,
because it's without the rushing upside, like that's what you get with those type of passers.
So again, if that's the case, with the history of differences in price over the years that we've seen in this range in the first round, maybe he isn't a hard sell. Maybe it's just down tier every time you're picking at 3.
Yeah,
or maybe it's down tier every time you're picking even at 4. Because if we're recommending people down tier from Hurts, maybe in theory we should do the same thing with Stroud just because of the price. So then you down tier to the end of the first or beginning of the second. You get guys that still have insulated value and will be in that price range for the foreseeable future, and then you just move on with your life. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, anyways,
but also in theory as well, and this is what I always think of in contrast, is like, what production do we require from CJ Stroud in 2024 for him to maintain his value? He doesn't have to be a top 3 quarterback.
No, he
top
doesn't.
6.
No.
He probably has to be top 6. Like, if he was QB6, if he finished QB6,
I think
he
would
maintain his price.
I think
if he's bottom half, he's going to lose a few spots. Most likely, just because of the ebb and flow of this area.
Most likely.
Because that inevitably means that these guys, some of them will outproduce them.
That would mean Anthony Richardson would probably jump up.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I do think
that's one of the most realistic ones that I see happening. That scares me.
Yeah, I mean, I see it both ways too. Like with Burrow could get injured, and that could be it. Like it could.
Oh yeah, not with Burrow. Sorry, I was talking about AR.
Oh yeah, well, an AR could get injured. Like, I mean, it's you just never know. But I don't know. In terms of 3rd round quarterbacks, I do like Riley's team at the 2 spot. So he went Mahomes and then went Christian McCaffrey, which, like, I'm not a huge proponent of taking Christian McCaffrey there, but then went Tua in the third. So like you're still insulating the value between Christian McCaffrey quite a bit to where it makes it acceptable to take the 25 points a game and win your league this year, right? Because I mean, because you know you're going to take a value loss on that. But then you also go Jalen Waddle to stack with Tua, which I like, which means Jalen Waddle's also a future pick. Tank Dell is a discount future pick. And then Kyle Pitts, which I think is a good pick in the 6th.
Yes.
I've seen him go 5th more and more often now. So this was a good question. 3 QB strategy should be nice having one as a trade piece. No, I think past Nathan and Avery would have told you yes. I think present Nathan and Avery would tell you that you shouldn't necessarily draft to trade because a lot of times it doesn't always work out the way you think.
Well, you draft
value, but don't draft to value to trade. Like if you're drafting like, okay, I'll just trade them. That never worked for me. Like it's like usually I didn't end up with as much leverage as I thought because if I have leverage at the quarterback position, somebody else has leverage at another position.
Yeah.
So the immediate trade value of somebody taking like having a positional monopoly.
Unless you just really, really mess with the market in your startup draft, which I have been responsible for, and so have you.
Yes.
Like there was one draft we did where I was ticking people off with the amount of wide receivers I took in a draft.
Yeah.
And now it's like going to be interesting with all the negotiations because they're as desperate as I am.
I know.
For other positions potentially. So, yeah, it's interesting.
The rookie pictures are in. I'm very happy about that.
Hey-o.
Or maybe part of them were in earlier this week. I'm curious if the rest of them are in. So
that makes me happy.
Let's see.
It's a good day.
Tight end run right here. So I'm just curious because like you see how high Brian Thomas is going in these drafts, which I don't think it's high enough to be like, yeah, you shouldn't draft him. But like this is what I'm talking about. Like he's going ahead of Worthy. Brooks went early in this draft.
This is what I was talking about with Brian Thomas in that one blueprint last time. Is if you're seeing him at this price or even sneaking up a little higher.
It's the highest I've seen him, but
I'm almost. Oh, I've seen him go higher.
Really?
Oh,
jeez.
I'm almost inclined to pivot. It's not because I don't like him. I really like Brian Thomas. I really.
Then why
do.
pivot?
And in a lot of rookie drafts, because early in rookie, I have so much Brian Thomas.
Too.
Because
I'm really happy I do.
His price didn't go up until later.
I know.
So when we did our rookie drafts, like
we got him at the 1.9,
110, 111.
Yep.
And I was like,
heck yeah.
I was really exasperated with how much Brian Thomas I ended up having. But I'm happy about it now with the price premium.
I'm going to see how much Brian Thomas I ended up with because I was the same way.
Yeah.
I'm curious though, if you like him, like why are you more inclined to pivot? Just because you think there's
as
much upside later?
I think there's risk.
I think some risk.
I think there's risk with his situation in Jacksonville, considering the fact that literally Evan Ingram was the wide receiver 1 last year.
I only have one of them. Never mind. But that's one out of.
I think you're talking about Brooks. I think you had a lot of Brooks shares.
I have, but it's one. I have a lot of Keon Coleman is who I have. One.
I'll tell you how much Brian Thomas I have.
So out of in the 12 teams I'm in, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6 leagues, I only have one of them. So. But 1/6 is pretty good exposure. So. Interesting. Wide receiver. The tight end run there. And then,
again, like. Likes aside, it's always about the price for me. So even though I like Brian Thomas, like I'm just more inclined to take some other guys in his range or even down tier to some of the young guys that are a little bit cheaper than him still. So
you know what's super interesting about this draft? There are 2 teams that have super unique builds in this draft. I want you to find them for me.
William 2003 has a unique build.
That's not the one I'm thinking of. 2 teams that have the exact same weird build.
Oh, okay.
Like one of the oddest builds I think I've ever seen, and there's 2 of them here.
That's the ones that go. I don't really know what route you're going here. Is it the? I'm looking at the ones that have multiple running backs after taking 2 QBs.
Yes, that's it.
And then I'm also looking at
go dual elite QB and then take 3 straight running backs. Yeah. That's interesting.
I mean, they got good values at every single one. Except for actually Rashad usually goes later.
Rashad goes later there, but like Barkley usually goes a little bit later than that. He goes late. He goes the turn. Taylor usually goes at the turn. Kyron Williams is a good value there, but it's just interesting. Like I have never seen one of those builds before, and there's 2 of them in this draft.
Yeah, freaking sleeper is so slow. Gosh, dude.
What's slow?
I've been trying to find how much Brian Thomas I own.
That's your Android.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. What is the estimated time to get blueprints? Just got one. Well, first of all, thanks for grabbing one, and congratulations. But also,
I have 3 shares, which
is
pretty significant.
That is good.
Yeah.
We don't go over 2 weeks for our blueprints, but we have a lot in the queue right now. But we also have a very good plan to make sure we are still being able to spend as much time as we can on
well-oiled machine.
We do have we've gotten a lot of practice doing this. So for blueprints, we say 2 weeks, but usually it's probably closer to 10 days. Would you say? This is Nathan's kind of the blueprint czar. So
I am the blueprint czar.
It's closer to 10 days, or is it? Have we hitting our full 2 weeks right now?
We're hitting our 2 weeks.
So it's 2 weeks right now. That's your wait time.
This turnaround time is 2 weeks tops.
And again,
stick with that.
If you want a blueprint, flockfantasy.com/domain. We post that link again in the description for them. Again, you get a free team blueprint when you buy the annual Mother Flocker tier. But outside of that, you can buy as many blueprints as you want now. You get 30% off if you're a domain Mother Flocker. If you're another Mother Flocker, you get 15% off. So there you go. We posted the link right there. You can buy as many a la carte blueprints as you want now. A lot of people are buying second blueprints now, which we had a lot of demand for, and I think it's a dead season, but I definitely think it's good to have direction for all your Dynasty teams. Definitely helps me. I mean, I have blueprints from all of my Dynasty teams inside my head, for sure. Every single one of them. All right. So the guy that went Purdy in the third goes Cousins for his second quarterback. But he's got J.J.F. and Bijan. So that's good, man.
Yeah.
And you take some wide receiver value, 5th, 6th round. Take Deshaun Watson as your third QB. Yeah, I mean, with Deshaun, it's we don't know.
Yep.
How many leagues are you guys in? How many leagues do you have? You guys asked. That is really cute. Look at that, Nathan. They asked the exact same question at the exact same time.
No way.
Nathan, how many leagues are you in?
I believe I am back to 10.
I am in 1.
It's going to take me 10 years to get back into this stupid app.
I think I'm in 6 or 7.
1, 2, 3.
I'm in more. I have
4,
more that
5,
I have
6,
co-managed with our league. Our league manager co-manages some of my older teams with me.
7, 8. I'm in 9.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I think that I know it is wild. I think that the best balance is usually 10 or less. So it's tough because we want to do leagues with our listeners. But Ryan's up to 8 now. There you go. Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to make sure you don't get in too many leagues. I prefer having a few leagues and dominating them. That's what and now, granted, I'm in more leagues, but the main reason I'm in a bunch of leagues, the main reason I've, had more leagues this offseason especially was because we did a bunch of listener leagues, including the Platinum League, so.
Platinum League was wild.
We had a good draft there, dude.
I know. Would have been better if we'd taken Kyle.
I hate you. You know that?
I hate you, dude. I love mentioning it. It's my favorite thing right now.
I've noticed, actually. Yeah. Believe it or not, I've noticed.
Yep. No, I'm very happy with that team.
It's such a good team. I love it. Becca's only in 1 league. How about that? That's all right, Becca. We still love you. You're in 3 with all different builds. You need a blueprint for all 3 of them, baby. 16 leagues. I mean, I don't think you're buying 16 blueprints, but if you do, we'll do them all. Oh, man. Bo Nix, Michael Penix go back to Penix ahead of Nix. There's interesting. Bo Nix's value is interesting to me. I will say that. Because where he's going in kind of comparison to some of the other quarterbacks here it's just interesting. That's all.
Very.
Matt Stafford's value, I think, is also great. And so the guy that played Dak and Drake May, taking Matt Stafford as his third QB, I like.
Oh, yeah.
Not bad. I thought you guys were in 30 with all the startup drafts I've watched. Well, these are all mock drafts.
Yes.
So they are not real leagues.
Man,
if they were, we would be.
We would not be alive.
Intense. Yeah.
We would not be alive.
Right.
Would not be alive. No. That'd be brutal, dude. My goodness.
I see. The main thing with leagues is I love playing in them, but now this is a business, and so it takes so much time.
Oh yeah.
What are you laughing at?
Nothing. It's just
quit laughing.
I'm sorry. Okay. Our life is crazy right now.
It is nuts. In a good way, though. We like it when our life's crazy. So
yeah.
I liked the $250
business,
fast draft video. I loved that. That was so fun.
Yeah.
That's the league we're talking about, the Platinum League. Stefano's in 3 leagues. There you go. Warrior King's in 8. We're doing your team review tonight. We're doing both of your team reviews tonight. What do you think about my team 110? Dual elite QB, 3 good wide receivers, then you take good running backs, then you take Jake Ferguson.
Yep.
Yeah, I like this team. I think you did a good job with this. Solid draft. I'm a sucker for dual elite QB builds, right? A sucker for dual elite QB builds. So I know. Now we got the music in our ears
now.
In
my head forever now.
I did listen to the last stream though, and I was like, yeah, it's actually pretty effective to have music in the background. So, especially when we're just hanging, just hanging out.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're like triple tasking right now.
We are like quadruple. We're always triple tasking, aren't we?
You usually more than me, but
I'm usually like. Yeah, I usually am using all my brain power. How do we join a listener league? I do one more. We're not doing any more listener leagues this year, but for sure next year. I'm having you 2 review my project team. The other 2, I'm top dog. Let's go. Yeah, the project teams are the ones those are the ones that we love doing. So
yes.
So if you've got a hard rebuild and you want a blueprint, you should get one for sure. That's just my opinion, but yeah, I feel strongly about it. Would you throw a 25 first for McBride or Pitts, upgrading off of Schultz to contend? Yeah, I think so. What's up, buddy?
Dogs.
Can
Dogs.
I pet that dog?
Dude, I can't. The first blueprint we're going to review today is Marvin Had a Little Lamb.
That's pretty funny. I'm not going to lie. That's funny. I like that.
I got a kick out of it.
I like it. Thanks for the shout out on the latest YouTube video. You're welcome. You have a good team. Thought on the 106. All right. You haven't drafted a quarterback. Let's try to not be biased as we examine this team. So CeeDee Lamb, Breece Hall. I like the start. Tyreek, Devonta Smith, DK, Travis Kelce, Deebo Samuel, Evan Ingram. You're screwed at quarterback. So I think that the guys you've taken, you haven't got any screaming falling values besides Deebo Samuel at the 7-7. He fell quite a bit. And so unless you're getting crazy values, I typically like to have a quarterback by then. I probably would have preferred you taking Trevor Lawrence in the second. I think you should have taken Goff. And then at the point you didn't have either of those guys, you probably have to take Drake May. You don't get him, then I think you've got to go the next. I think you take. Where did he go? Bryce Young in the 6th. I think at that point I would have been scrapping for a quarterback.
Yeah.
You guys can tell me what you think in the comments, but I just don't like going that long without a comments. Or without a quarterback.
Without a
comments. QB overrated.
Let me know what you think in the quarterbacks. I just don't like going that long without a comments.
Shut up. I don't think quarterback's overrated in a Superflex league. I don't think you can overrate quarterbacks.
Absolutely not.
Keith's really happy with his squad.
That the QB overrated quote is definitely coming from a 1 QB truther.
Mac Father, do you play 1 QB? And we're just going to sit in silence till the 30-second delay goes off and he tells us. That's Gap. There you go. Are you guys doing a league with Mother Flockers? I want to join. We already did our leagues for this year, so we won't be doing any more this year.
Yep.
Next year, though. He going Daniel Jones QB1 season. Somebody's going to snipe him on Jones. He's going to have to go Justin Fields. So he's going to have to start backup.
Yep.
It's not a bad team. It's just what are you going to do at quarterback? Okay, he said he was joking. There you go.
Oh, you taking Mitchell at that price?
Heck yeah.
Yes, please.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, please.
See, I told you he's going to get sniped on Jones. There he goes. That's funny. Yeah, Ridley falling far. Yeah, Damien, you're right. Ridley is a good value in Dynasty. And redraft, he's a great value.
Telling you, man. It's the pendulum effect. People swing one way, and then they swing the other when they're disappointed. It's just...
You see it literally every year. Calvin Ridley, you saw it.
Calvin Ridley and Tony Pollard are the guys.
Ramondre Stevenson, it happened.
Gosh. We put our careers on the line with Tony Pollard and Calvin Ridley last year.
We would
Justin Fields and T Higgins.
We'd be out of this business.
Every single.
We'd be out of this business had they.
We would have rethought our lives. We'd have been like, what?
We suck at this.
We are terrible.
Which we still do, but we suck.
We were literally 4 for 4 on our biggest stakes.
I know.
4 for 4.
Now don't do the math after that. But the top 4 were good. We better get out of here because he just executed Order 66, so we might get killed. You can definitely overrate QB. Look at A. Rich. Who
got ordered 66?
Hey, I'm him.
Did you? Do you have a chip in your head?
No,
I don't have a chip in my head.
No, the problem is we're Jedi. That was the.
Oh, okay, cool.
I didn't even read this comment.
You can definitely overrate QB. Look at A. Rich, the most overrated QB in the league.
You seriously get on a Colts fan show and say that? Who's over?
All right, you're him.
Who's who's overrating Anthony Richardson? Like, I don't think he's overrated for fantasy. He's ridiculous. But like in real life NFL,
he scored 17 points in 2 minutes.
But like real life NFL standpoint, like nobody thinks he's a good quarterback for the NFL.
Radar.
Like
no one.
Anybody who says that he's an established or proven or
pretty
anything.
Low expectations, honestly. No one thinks he's a good passer. Like, period.
Is there a way to switch your promo code on the Flock site without removing your subscription? You can. I can give you more details on that if you message me. Jameis Winston season. There you go.
Yeah, did the guy for that for the last 10 years?
Did the guy on the right hit the Benjamin? Oh yeah, because I was mixing up my words. No. Fun fact: Nathan and I, not weed smokers, never have smoked weed. You haven't, right?
Did you seriously just ask me that question?
I did. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No. Neither of us have ever smoked weed. So there you go. Does that make us more lame? Gavin says thoughts on 109. No, we're just giving. We got to give our favorite team here, but you did a dual elite QB build and followed it up with 4 wide receivers, so I like that build. All right, it's time to pick our favorite teams. Or I should have done it. Time to pick our favorite teams. I should have done it to the melody of the new song. But all right, you know what, Nathan? I'm gonna go first.
Yeah, go for it.
My
time to decide.
Favorite team of all time. It was mostly air. You have a windscreen on too.
Well, it's because my mouth was so close to the microphone that
You're my lips dry.
Dang, I can't whistle right now. That's really bad.
All right.
Can you do the original Mickey Mouse whistle?
Just laughing through it. I'm going to go I'm actually going to go 110. Yeah, he asked us about his team. I actually like that one the best. That's my favorite. Anthony Richardson, Justin Herbert.
Yeah, that's how we started our draft in our Platinum League.
Yep.
I'll go with the...
I freaking hate you.
The guy that took Kyler Murray. I'm kidding.
What's funny is like the center of the argument was that they're both good picks. They
literally went after dual elite QB. They went opposites. It's very visually satisfying.
It is like there's a lot of symmetry.
Yes.
In this board right
very,
now.
Very like symmetrical and stuff. Wow. Yeah. Oh man. I'll go with Burrow and Caleb.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a good one
team.
Too. Yeah. Pick your boys.
Collins, DJ Moore, Ladd, Derrick Henry, good value. George Kittle, good value. Kamara, good value. Polk, Jones, Eckler, all those guys are good value picks.
Yeah.
Well done.
All right, there you go. Take one last look at the board. We got some blueprints to do. So again, these were people that bought blueprints on our special, or 2-3 hour special, whatever it was, where if you bought a blueprint, you get it on live stream. We're not running that again, but we are offering to where if you buy a blueprint and you pay $20 extra on that slider, then we'll do it for you. So, okay, cool. All right. So with that being said, if you do end up paying $20 extra for a blueprint and you want it reviewed, send us a DM on Discord and show us that you did that with your invoice or whatever, and we will do it. But for now, we're going to pop over and do some blueprints that we have ready for tonight. So I got to get...
Ew.
Oh, it's still up, isn't it? Oh, yes, it is. Let's go. I still got the site up, so... All right, Nathan, who's up first?
Marvin had a little lamb.
All right, let me make sure this is... There we go. Boom. All right. Marvin had a little lamb?
Yep.
Yeah, see, guys, it's not like we don't have any freaking thing going on right now. My gosh. Where is it?
It's in the pending.
Oh, it is in the pending.
Yes.
Okay.
The ones that we're prepping tonight are the ones that I have pending.
Ow.
You good there, man?
I'm searching it.
Okay. Marvin had a little lamb.
There it is.
Yep.
All right. I switched.
Go.
Okay.
Nope. Wrong one. Scroll down.
He is too.
Actually, yeah. Go. Scroll down. You're gonna find it. You got it.
There it is. All right, this one. Okay, so you left some comments for us. So let's pull this up and then, well, actually, that's just in the chat. So let's go here. It's a 12-team Superflex PPR start 10 tight end premium. This was a startup draft, a win in without a plan to take value in the first few rounds, see how it shakes out before making a plan. Drafted 10th. Top 8 QBs, so you started with Lamb. 2-3, Marvin was best available. The third came, first couple of tiers of QBs were gone, so I went best again with Laporta. Didn't take running back. So this is going to be interesting with the quarterback. McCarthy and Cousins in the 4th and 5th.
I smell a wide receiver factory coming.
That's probably a reach on Cousins. Followed Pacheco and Henry. All right. Ended up trading Ingram for Njoku and Benson. I like that trade a lot. All these moves and trade cost me some pick downgrades. 25 first and second down to 225 thirds. Okay, interesting. Hoping I can contend. No, I'm weak at quarterback. Hoping time cures that with JJ and Penix coming up and if Fields starts at some point. Justin Fields is your Obi-Wan Kenobi. Don't have running back depth, but feel like I'm insulated from injury. Feel free to roast away. It's my first Dynasty League. All right, there we go. We got through it. So let's go ahead and pull him up in my teams. Trying to get Adonai Mitchell for a 26 second and 25 third. Good idea or not? Yeah, it's good.
That's value. A good idea.
Yeah, ignore Brady on my roster. It was just a joke. All right, fine. Well, he won't be factored into your quarterback score anyway. So interesting.
Dang.
Because of your wide receivers are inflating the frick out of your value there in the my teams. Here's my rankings. Oh my gosh. Wow. Look at the difference, dude.
Wow.
So in my rankings, you're third to last. In the community rankings, you're first. In the expert combined rankings, you are right in the middle. And Nathan hasn't updated his rankings, so we can't check that one.
Yes, I have updated my rankings.
Where the frick are they then?
How are they not up?
Where the frick are they, Nathan?
I just updated them 2 weeks ago.
That's too long ago.
Because they changed it.
They did 2 weeks, so that's the last day mine's on there.
So today is literally probably day 15.
All right, let's get on that. So this is really interesting. So at quarterback, I'll let you go ahead and start position.
Yeah, so at QB, you got McCarthy and Cousins, like we already alluded to. Penix, Fields, Stafford. You got guys that are going to score points. Cousins is going to score points. Stafford is going to score points. McCarthy, we don't really know when, but he's a starting quarterback. Michael Penix, that's a nice handcuff to have with Cousins. Justin Fields getting him off your roster.
Hold on. In the community rankings, how is Justin Fields ranked higher than Matthew Stafford in Dynasty?
Because people are delusional.
What crack are we smoking?
Marvin had a little lamb.
Let's check.
This is my implorement to you.
That's not a word, but we're gonna roll with it. Okay.
It's 9:30. Okay, 9:30 Eastern time.
Fine. Best time zone.
Please trade away Justin Fields for anything.
These are my rankings are better for this, but
yeah.
I heard that I also had some screwy ones in my rankings. So and 3 then, for that one.
Yeah, I would give it a 3. Yeah.
Okay.
And then at running back, you got Kyron, Benson, Corum, Connor.
That's a 5.
That's, again, some more points, not a ton of value outside of
6.
Kyron. I give that a
6.
6, yeah.
Right.
Yep, and then wide receiver, we're going to go CD, Marvin, Christian
pretty
Watson,
top-heavy
Myers. It is top-heavy, but that is by far and away the most value that you have on your team.
So that's
so I am, just from a value perspective, I am going to go wide receiver factory here.
I think so too.
And then you've got Sam Laporta and Njoku at tight end. Number one suggestion here, tight end. I would down tier from David Njoku potentially. Actually, his value isn't that bad. Maybe I wouldn't down tier from Njoku. Yeah, I actually would. Here's why I would. You're really short from a depth perspective at running back and even wide receiver right now. So I would pivot off Njoku and ride with Taysom Hill as your backup, no problem, and go get a running back or a wide receiver instead if you move off Njoku. So that's actually that's one of my first sells.
Okay. Here's kind of I want to get your thoughts on this. Because outside of, you're comfortable starting those 2 quarterbacks for the most part.
Yes.
You're comfortable starting Kyron. So that's 3. CD and Marv, you're comfortable starting. Christian Watson, you'll start. Laporte, I guess, I don't know. This leans almost rebuild to me.
I think he has enough top heavy value that he can down tier at the wide receiver position with one of those guys.
In my opinion, he's got a down tier everywhere.
I would have recommended rebuild, except that he doesn't have his 25 pick. So he's almost forced to.
Well, that's why it's not future value to me too.
Right, which is why I think he's forced to try and contend this year because you do have enough value to down tier. It's risky, But that's what I'm leaning.
I'm sure you have like some kind of answer for this, but I think that a team archetype that we'd see a lot based on what we've been doing is a team archetype called top heavy. So I mean, it may fit somewhere already, but
yeah,
I see a lot of teams that are kind of like
But again, when you see top heavy, like that's top heavy, but what's the most valuable position?
I know. I just think of wide receiver factory as like 4 or 5 wide receivers minimum.
Yeah,
but so like I've just seen a couple where it's like I don't know where they fall. They don't have their pick.
Some of them, I mean, again, the DVM is it's a guideline tool, right? There,
sure.
95% of the time, you have teams that are fitting into the DVM, and you're just going to have outliers. Like that's just the way that it is.
Right.
You're going to have a lot of ones that are different for sure.
All right, I'll let you kind of keep going with this analysis.
Yeah, I think I'm not comfortable moving off of CeeDee Lamb with the contract that he's inevitably going to get, the fact that he's proven. But Marvin Harrison Jr., he's already being valued so high right now and hasn't even stepped on the field. I think it would really, really behoove you to down tier for Marvin Harrison Jr. I think that's your easiest, most straight answer that I can give you is if you down tier from Marv and you get a Drake London and a Jared Goff, for example, which is absolutely possible, you're really solving your QB issue and you're getting another what is probably going to be a productive wide receiver. And then at the running back position, get another cheap guy like Tony Pollard. If you move off Christian Watson, move off Njoku, package some of those assets, go get a safe guy who's slowly but surely declining in price right now, and that's Michael Pittman. You're getting guaranteed production there, guaranteed targets. And again, you're kind of addressing the depth issue at wide receiver there as well. So I'm actually not too worried from a production perspective about running back.
Yeah.
I'm not too worried about it. Wide receiver is definitely the focus there, and that's what you want to focus on when you're down tiering. Get multiple wide receivers, try to get a safer QB, package Fields by all means. Use your QD. Even though you don't have a super high QB grade, you do have QB depth. So what I would do is I would package a couple of those assets together. One of those, please, needs to be Justin Fields, and get a better second starting quarterback option. And then you just got to focus on immediate production. So any sort of veteran asset that's declining in price or it's already fallen off the value cliff, go and get them. Go get a James Conner for free. Go get those types of guys, especially since I think you have Trey Benson on your team. Like go ahead and go get your James Conner just as a handcuff. And explore. You might want to explore offers to move off JJ McCarthy because that's another very valuable unproven asset that you have. And there are some good QBs still going in that range that are proven, and there are some really good wide receivers that are productive going in that range as well.
For sure. Yeah. All right. Anything else on this one?
I've got you as a contend rebuild, and that's pretty generous. You might be looking at a reload year 2.
Yeah, I think that's true. So, All right, man. Appreciate you being a member of the flock. Appreciate you buying a blueprint. So, obviously,
hit us up with follow-up questions too, man.
Yeah, if you're a domain guy, then
if you're a domain guy, you've been DMing me and stuff. So feel free. I know he's a domain mother flocker. So
yeah. All right, appreciate it. What's our next one, Nathan?
We've got
a super chat from Waffle, but it's mainly him making fun of us, I'm sure.
Yeah, NT said did good in this draft 110. When you're making tough decisions in the middle rounds, what cheat sheet ADP sheets do you guys use to make hard decisions?
Good question.
We use a mix of
market value tools like Flock, community rankings, Keep Trade Cut, things like that, and our own personal rankings.
And our just general knowledge of the market value.
Yep.
We're just always
drafting based on market. Nathan's audio should be better now. I think I fixed it. So.
Oh, was it still quiet?
Well, I was bypassing the processing when I was recording it, so I put the processing back on. So they couldn't hear what was in our ears. They were hearing the raw audio. So.
My goodness.
Why not
the whole time?
Yeah. Which I know. Why not? I was like, why are they saying that? But that makes sense. Why not use the search bar to look for his blueprint? I did use the search bar. You could rewind it. But Nathan told me I had the wrong one. So, all right, which one's next, Nathan?
We're going to have Hertz Donut. That's Cab Hockey 19.
Oh, I used the wrong keyboard there. I have multiple computers in front of me. Hertz Donut. Here we go. All right. It's Cab Hockey. What's up, Cab Hockey? One of our domain mother flockers over there on the site. All right. Hertz Donut. This is a 10-team league. PPR, start 10, Superflex, non-tight end premium, okay? So he is 3rd in community rankings when you toggle this over to Avery's rankings, which is obviously, superior.
Right.
He's 2nd. So pretty close here. And obviously I give you a little bit more of a boost, so let's go with mine. So Hertz Donut. Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Caleb Williams. Holy smokes. And Deshaun. Okay, so that's a 10 at quarterback. For running back, Breece Hall, Devon Achane, Alvin Kamara, Brian Robinson, Aaron Jones. That's a 8 minimum. Would you give that any higher than an 8?
I give it an 8.
Okay. Wide receiver, Amon-Ra, Devonta Smith, JSN, Mike Evans, Calvin Ridley. I like that you have these two guys up here, but then you have a guy that you're,
a lot of depth there.
The depth here is awesome. I'm giving this a 7.
I'll give it a 7 for sure.
Yeah. This is going to be a dual elite QB, but it also could pass as this is, yeah.
This is a dual elite QB.
Yeah. So Kyle Pitts here, Dallas Goedert. So to me, this is an 8 at tight end or so. Yeah.
You're flirting with elite value.
I was going to say he's flirting with elite value.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to keep it at dual elite QB.
If you had like one more dominant high ceiling wide receiver, you'd be with elite value.
So this is a good team, man. This is one of the better teams we've reviewed on these streams.
Yeah.
So in terms of looking now at your team archetype, again, dual elite QB, you're going to be a contend reload, in my opinion. I think you would probably agree with that. Year 3, because your value is so good, I think you can afford to reload and not rebuild. Now, let's talk about some moves you could potentially make with this team. So right off the bat, the first thing that stands out to me is that you could probably have a super team here if you down-tiered from one of your quarterbacks. Because I think you're starting what you can start at running back. But in terms of at wide receiver, man, I mean, if some of the guys hit here, you're going to be ridiculously hitting. Like, I think this team. Let's look at the top team real quick. This guy's got 4 quarterbacks up here. Oh my gosh, this guy's team is insane. This is an elite value team at the top.
Yeah.
So that's tough. But again,
top heavy league.
But when it is super top heavy, and the third guy apparently has a good team too. So you guys must have just. Jeez, dude, look at the quarterback real estate. Murray, Richardson, May, Prescott, and Rodgers, Allen, Hurts, Caleb Williams, and Deshaun Watson.
This is a standard
Herbert,
12 team,
Love,
right?
and Lawrence. This is a 10 team.
Good night.
But still, that's like most of the quarterbacks.
Dude, who's the hard rebuild at the very bottom? I got to see.
Ham Sandwich, duh. JJ McCarthy, yeah. Whew. And no first. Ouch. Okay.
That's the killer right there because his assets are atrocious.
This is a league economy thrown out of balance for sure. Okay, so my first recommendation is going to be to down tier from Jalen Hurts. I think Caleb, I think I want to capitalize on the elite value of Jalen Hurts more than I do like taking a smaller down tier in Caleb Williams, because I think when you're down tiering from Jalen Hurts, you can down tier to an elite wide receiver that we're talking about, and I think that wide receiver for this particular video is Puka Nacua.
Hey,
I was tempted to say somebody else, but I knew you wanted me to say Puka. So,
who were you going to say?
I was just thinking because he's got Amon-Ra, like somebody higher upside. So
my other thought was like Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, and that's what I think too. Like I think that's a good one as well.
Either.
Yeah, I think we stick with Puka. But and then my second one here, and I'll let you do the last one, is going to be Devon Achane. I just want some more safety and security there, capitalizing on a price where I think Achane's not. I think it's a good price, but obviously I have him ranked at running back 11. That's a little bit lower than a lot of people. And so in terms of who to pivot from Devon Achane, I'm not necessarily looking to down tier here necessarily, but you could make a lateral move to Saquon Barkley here.
It's my favorite move,
and I think that's a really safe and secure move. I just feel more comfortable with a running back room of Hall, Barkley, and Kamara than I do Hall, Achane, and Kamara.
Yes,
so
I completely agree.
I'll let you pick the last one here.
For me, I'm going to move off of one of Evans or Pitts. Huh.
I mean, you're flexing Evans.
I know, but Evans' price.
I mean, with the down tiers that are happening, we could tell him to up tier a little bit from Kyle Pitts.
That's true.
Because he has the value for it, and he's still got his first. So he got his first for both years, so he's got some value to play with.
But what's the payoff?
I don't know. And Kyle Pitts is super high ceiling.
Honestly, I'm going to have you stick with Kyle Pitts on this team, and I'm going to have you move off of Mike Evans because his price right now, I think he's the most valuable of your sort of old guys going in that range, your Kupp, your Devontae Adams, your Terry, those types of guys. So let's move off of Evans and let's get kind of a younger asset, because past your top 3 guys, you do have a significant amount of volatility there at wide receiver. So let's go and let's get some guys like Jaden Reed. And if you want to get another productive guy, because you're obviously going to make a push for your league. I know, like even Debo's a few years younger. Go and get a productive guy like Debo. Those are some Some good targets there.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. So again, contend, rebuild. So for your depth score here, I'm going to give you. I'll give you a 7 for depth because you've got good depth at wide receiver and a couple good guys on the bench at running back. Like you go 7 or 8 here, honestly, and you've got 2. Well, actually, you have to go 8 or 9 because of the 2 quarterbacks on the bench. So your depth's elite.
Yep.
And you got good depth at every position. So 8 or 9. In terms of your suggestions and comments, I'll do these. You are playing with a lot of value here. Again, don't try to play catch up with this guy because you guys both have really good teams. It's going to be anybody's shot to win the championship. Again, it's all luck once you get to the championship. So field a good, productive team and call it. The league economy is thrown out of balance here. So take advantage of that and definitely try to take more advantage of these bottom guys here and just and the other thing I'll say about when the league economy is thrown out of balance is try to win now and win the next year and win the next year. Because a lot of times what happens when the league economy is this bad and this imbalanced, especially in a 10 team, is you have guys that don't want to play anymore. And so win the money while you can.
Yes.
And then the last thing I would say here is don't be afraid to take shots on some younger guys with upside like Jonathan Brooks. That when you've got really good elite value here. But if you take a shot on a guy, I like JSN on this roster, for example. JSN's a guy that's 25th in my rankings. It easily could be top 15 next year. Probably will be. Jonathan Brooks is a guy who's you're getting pretty cheap right now, but he has a lot of upside. So don't be afraid to shoot for upside in those lower rounds as well. So, all right, Hertz Donut, we appreciate you. Thank you for being a member, and thank you for buying a team blueprint. So, all right, next one, Nathan.
The next one we've got here is going to be Higgin Your Grave.
Higgin Your Grave.
Steph.Rico.
Okay, he has 2, I think. I'm assuming it's this one. Let me see when he submitted it. The 21st, that was Friday.
Yep. Do the one that was submitted on the 21st.
This one is pending, so I'm going to do this one. This is the one we need. Okay. So, thinking about down tiering from Burrow to get May, Reed, Polk in a 25 first, send back Burrow in a 25 second. Is that a good move? I'm still about 2 years out. So I'll let you answer that, and I'll let you kind of start with the. So first of all, he's right in the middle here for community. For mine, he's.
Okay. Sending back Burrow in a 25 second. You're getting May, a first, Polk, and Reed.
And I'm going to let you start with positional grades because I got a piece so bad.
Oh, really? Wow,
yep.
Okay.
That's never happened.
So I think, actually, no. No, I'm not going to do that just because you already have a lot of risk at the quarterback position past Burrow right now. I don't think there are a lot of teams where I am recommending that they down tier from Joe Burrow because I think there are guys that have as much production upside going in the second round of startups right now as Joe Burrow. Your team is not one of those situations because you have McCarthy risky, Baker Mayfield absolutely risky. I'm moving off of one of McCarthy or Baker before I'm moving off of Burrow and down tiering. I do like May's value a lot, but I think you can acquire May by moving off some different assets instead. So kind of starting with that, your QB room, you got Burrow, McCarthy, and Mayfield. That's not bad at all. I would give that, I think just from a value perspective, probably give it a 7 out of 10. You got 2 contract insulated guys and a quarterback with some upside and first round draft capital. You got Monty, Jalen Wright, Esame, Irving as your top guys at running back. To me, that's a 2 out of 10.
Not back.
3 out of 10 tops. That's a 2 out of 10. Wide receiver, you got Amon-Ra, Devonta Smith, again, just like the last team. Tank Dell, T. Higgins, Roman Wilson, Troy Franklin, the GOAT, next Puka, Jalen McMillan, Johnny Wilson. A lot of depth here, a lot of young guys that are yet to be proven.
My bad.
What?
It wasn't on the. I wasn't screen sharing.
Oh, rip. That's all right. I'm going to give you a. Would you go? I would go in 7 out of 10 on there as well. And then tight ends, you got Kincaid and Musgrave. That's a 7 or 8 out of 10 for me at tight end. Man. What do you think, huh?
Did we do the entire last team review without frick me?
Bruh.
Sorry.
It's all right. We're all over the place tonight. So.
All right. So we need to. I don't know.
Let's finish this one.
Okay, we'll do this one.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll go 8 out of 10 at tight end as well there. So and then your draft capital is fine. You got all your future picks as well. So You're up.
Sorry, I'm reading the comments. I'm an idiot. I forgot to switch it back.
Yeah.
I can't see the comments when we do this. It sucks.
Yeah, that is annoying for
brutal.
sure.
All right. Well, hopefully, whose did we do before? I can't remember.
So your team archetype here, you have a 7 out of 10 at QB, 7 out of 10 at wide receiver, 2 out of 10 at running back, 8 out of 10 at tight ends. You got all your future picks. Do you see this as a super serious contending team this year? I'm going future value for this team.
That looks like future value to me
I'm
as well.
going future value.
Especially with having all your picks and a couple extras. So
Yeah. Yep. So we'll go rebuild, soft rebuild, contend this year. If some of your young guys pan out this year, you definitely have the ability to compete and be, upper half for sure. Upper quartile of the upper quartile.
There you go.
That's funny. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at there with your grades and with your archetypes. So we'll kind of move on to the cells here.
Okay, so your first cell here for me. Okay, so we have to kind of go based on your team archetype here, right? And you gave him future value, right?
Yeah.
It says dual elite QB. I was confused.
This is, sorry.
Okay.
This one is future value.
So I think somebody like David Montgomery is somebody you don't want on a future value team because he is going to continue to lose value as he goes in deeper into this contract, right? So I'm going to say David Montgomery first, and I'm going to just shoot for guys in that value range that better suit like a future value team. Let's see. David Montgomery. I'm going to go target. Man, he is such a good value in Dynasty. The more I hate selling him, actually. That kind of sucks.
Who?
Montgomery. But he's the most obvious guy here. Who can you even get?
I'm hands down moving off of Baker.
Oh yes,
That's
I
the number
didn't
one
even think
sell
about
for
that.
me
All
is
right,
Baker
let's start
Mayfield.
with Baker instead because I can't decide on Montgomery.
Yeah, so if you're wanting to get some future value here, again, some more picks, like you said, you're kind of in a weird situation here. Let's go off Baker Mayfield and let's get a little more. I don't want to say value insulation because he does have a contract. Let's go for some more upside. Would you pivot to a different QB or would you just go straight picks? Straight picks and straight wide receiver value upside.
I think I'd go that.
Okay.
I think I want value insulation.
Yep.
Like again, because like what QB are you going to pivot to with Baker? Like probably a QB that's going to help you contend.
So I'll go wide receiver. We're targeting a wide receiver.
I mean, like if
Baker
you can get a
Mayfield.
24 first for Baker, you doing that?
Yeah.
So like,
25
first, 24 first. That'd be not a good deal at all. But yeah, I think I'm shooting for picks and wide receivers there. So
yeah, that's definitely going to be one of our top targets that we have for your 2025 rookie picks, because those are guaranteed to appreciate in value by far.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be chilling there.
Yeah.
And then any wide receiver in Baker's price range that you would target?
I mean, let's see. Keon Coleman's in that range.
For him,
Honestly, Bo Nix is in that range.
he is way.
He's way. Rasheed Rice.
so-
Rasheed Rice.
yeah.
That's my target for that.
Yep,
Yeah.
good
I'm
call.
buying into Rasheed Rice there.
Good call.
My next sale is actually going to be Troy Franklin.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to check real quick to make sure I have him slotted in the right spot here in terms of rankings. But Troy Franklin, where are you at? I must have passed him, right? Yeah, he's up here. So with Franklin, like it's not so
Just
much.
get better draft capital.
I think so too. Like get somebody equivalent, like with
Jalen
better
Polk.
with better draft. Yeah, Jalen Polk's a great example. If you can get Jalen Polk for Troy Franklin, I'm doing it.
Yes.
Jermaine Burton,
hands down.
I would take Jermaine Burton.
Hands down.
So
This is not a always move, but I am going to have you move off Devonta Smith and down tier because I think that while you know what you're getting from Devonta Smith and he's very safe, there's very little value upside with Devonta Smith given his situation. So with your current build and being a future value team, you have the flexibility, as Avery would say, to down tier from Devonta Smith and see if you can't get some value upside there. I'm looking for guys like Jackson Smith and Jigba, for example.
yeah.
And that's, again, you're pretty rich at wide receiver. You have a lot of depth, but you can definitely get some more upside and end up getting a better grade. I'm kind of steering clear for the most part from running back unless you're investing in a rookie. But if you can get a guy like Jonathan Brooks or Trey Benson, that would be great.
There you go. Yeah.
So, yeah. Final suggestions and comments.
So again, with a future value team, your main goal is to accumulate as much value as you can to be able to spend it as currency to get contending assets, right? And so keep players and target players that are going to increase in value. T. Higgins is a great future value piece because he's going to go up in value this year. Tank Dell is a good future value piece. I like guys like Jackson Smith and Jigba as well, like Nathan mentioned. And honestly, I think from a value perspective, you're not in a bad place at all with this team. So continue to make as many trades as you can to get small value wins. But with that, I think you're going to be. I think you're in the middle of the pack value wise for a good reason. And this guy at the top, how did he get this team? Good gravy in the picks. Good night. So you're always going to be competing with this guy in this 12 team. So all right, I appreciate you higging your grave, and apologies guys for not being able to see the screen. I feel like an idiot, but it's whatever. Can't change it.
That was a 12 team as well,
that was
correct?
Stupid of me. Yeah.
Okay. Steph. Rico 12 team.
There you go.
Organization right here, baby. Next up we have here is Warrior King. Give me that hawk.
Was that Steph.Ricos?
Yeah, that was higging your grave.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
Yep. Go to details.
Okay,
Steph.Rico.
Yep. Okay. All right. Next.
Hawk Tua. Warrior King.
Gosh, Hawk Tua.
This is Warrior King.
Give me that Hawk Tua or just Hawk Tua?
It's give me that Hawk Tua.
Okay. Because as you imagine, we have multiple of those.
Right.
All right. This is Warrior King. What's up, Warrior King? Good to see you, man.
Yo.
Rookie draft was Friday. Took Rome at the 107. Brooks at the 108. Osama bin Madden is...
Nice.
It's a really fun name.
Nice.
Is interested in Kincaid, Wilson, and Puka. Should I try to package one of them with two and go for Allen or Burrow off his team? Also, let's take a look at your team first. All right. Early first. Started from the bottoms rookie draft happening tonight. Oh, dang it. I went off of it. There we go. All right. All right. You're second in your league. It looks pretty top heavy with you and the top guy here. I'll switch over to my rankings real quick and we'll see where you lie. I'm going to check the comments just in case I'm doing something really stupid. And I'm not. Okay, we do have a super chat. Please check mine. My name is Mahomeless Kids. LOL. Did you purchase it during the live stream on Friday? If you do, we're going to do it. If not, we're probably not going to have time. But thanks for your super chat. Sorry, guys. Looks like you're in good shape here. In my rankings, you're first. So let's stick with my rankings because you're going to like that better. Holy smokes, that's a wide receiver factor if I ever saw one. Holy smokes, that's an elite value team if I ever saw one, actually. Wow, Patrick Mahomes, Tua, and Bryce Young. Your quarterback room is going to get a 9.
And all your future picks.
All your future picks. So 9 at quarterback. Your running back room.
Gibbs, Brooks, Henry.
I mean, that's
a 7.
I'd give that an 8. I think you've got 3 starting running backs there. Like,
you got 2 top 8 guys.
And then Derrick Henry.
Which, again, his value is top 100.
Yeah. Okay, I guess you could go 7. That's fine.
It's whatever. It's kind of a wash. But
wide receiver factory here. Your wide receiver factory includes Amon-Ra St. Brown, Puka, Garrett Wilson, A.J. Brown, Tyreek Hill, Roma Duzzi. That's a 10 out of 10 if I ever saw one. Holy crap. That's like the 10 out of 10.
It kept going.
It's a 10 team, so keep that in mind. 10 team PPR start, 9 Superflex non-tight.
That wide receiver room is so ridiculous. I think I might just go wide receiver factory, trending elite value, honestly. Like
or elite wide receiver factory. There you go. Tight end, you've got Kincaid and Goddard. So Kincaid and Goddard is a 9.
Gosh.
So what do we do here? I think you go elite value here.
I think tight end is still 8. Goddard doesn't have a lot of value.
Well, Kincaid though.
Yeah.
And JT Sanders.
Right.
Yeah, that's what's pushing it up.
Oh, I got it.
So what are we deciding
There's
on?
a contend reload. I'm vouching for wide receiver factory just because it's so ridiculous there compared to every other position. Like there's a clear gap between wide receiver and every other position. But again, he has so much value from wide receiver alone that it could be elite value. Again, you're in the same quadrant.
On this, would you give
you give
Garrett Wilson and Tua for Allen?
Kincaid, Wilson, and Puka. Should I try to package one of them with Tua, go for Allen or Burrow?
Because I'm working on more. I would be more willing to give up the wide receivers.
I'm sorry.
Because it's a wide receiver factory.
I'm sorry. I'm confused. What's going on?
He is asking if we should make this trade. So Garrett Wilson and Puka, package one of them with Tua and going and get Josh Allen or Joe Burrow. I wouldn't do either of those for Burrow. I honestly probably would stay put.
I'd stay put.
I like the idea of up-tiering on this team, though, and we're going to talk about that.
Yes.
So my first move for you is going to be, I like your quarterback room. I think you stay put with your quarterbacks. I think you go get, I think there are running backs that you could use on this team.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm trying to think of the running back that I would get on this team, and I'm thinking really hard about it. I'm thinking really hard. I mean, on this team, you probably should go get a Saquon Barkley.
You're moving off of one of your wide receivers at least, and you're going and you're getting hyper productive running backs,
which I think would be Saquon in that range.
To me, I'm looking at Garrett Wilson or Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
and I'm going and getting multiple productive running backs. You know.
Yeah, Yeah.
Are you moving off Amon-Ra?
I'm not moving off of Tyreek. I'm not moving off of him. I'm not moving off of him.
Puka. AJ Brown just got a new contract. He's a decent value.
I honestly would probably go Garrett Wilson here.
I mean, yeah, that's what I said. Garrett Wilson or Tyreek Hill.
Garrett Wilson.
I think moving off Garrett Wilson is a fine move.
Okay, so then who are we targeting in terms of if we're going to move off of a very value insulated asset for some non-value insulated positions? Who are we going to?
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. Plus.
And Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley. There you go. I think one of those guys would really take this team to the next level. I like Kincaid on this team. I think you're good at tight end.
Yep. You're chilling at tight end. I'm not doing anything there.
Man, this wide receiver room.
At RB,
I would move off of Jalen Warren for whatever you can get. So, especially because you're going to be targeting some other.
What's Tua's price right now?
He's still mid third like he always has, man.
Sucks because I'm.
What? Jalen Warren for David Montgomery is a straight up deal. I like that a lot. So let's do the pivot there.
That's a great deal.
Yeah.
Because you're getting them with Gibbs as well.
Like, I'd rather bet on. I mean, Jalen Warren has receiving upside, no touchdown upside. I'd rather bet on the touchdown upside.
Yes, agreed.
And then lastly, but not leastly.
Not leastly, that's for sure.
You know what? I mean, I feel like this year...
Is Rome really contributing to your team much?
He's not, but you could also just hold him and wait for the value increase. This may be crazy to you. One of my inclinations here is to actually try to move off of Gibbs
I thought about
and go
that
to Bijan.
Yep, that's fine with me.
I think you target Bijan.
Because you want to get more volume.
But also you're capitalizing on Jahmyr Gibbs going in the same round as him in Dynasty startups.
Yeah.
I think Bijan and Breece you target. If you can't move Gibbs for one of those guys, you just don't move him, I don't think.
Yep.
But that's what we're going to try.
All your targets are running backs.
Because that's
all you need.
That's all you need. Like, this is
that's a first, man. I'll tell you
again,
what.
When you get an elite value team, which we consider this on the border, you can pretty much spend it however you want. Well, go spend it and win your league.
Yep.
Because you're going to win your league with wide receivers.
Yep.
Like Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra, and Puka, that's a league winner. You're flexing AJ Brown and Romo Dunes or Jaden Reed. Like, your quarterbacks are fine. Wow, it was a good team.
Yeah, I would definitely tell you that you should avoid selling your future first at all costs.
Oh yeah,
you have plenty of value, and you're just going to keep accumulating value if you save your first.
Consider snagging a slightly safer backup tight end, just for security. I like that he has 3 quarterbacks like that. That's nice.
Kittle or Njoku. They're very cheap, very affordable right now. Or Ingram. Kittle, Njoku, yep. Ingram.
Yeah. All right.
Any other suggestions?
No, I think this is a really good team. So I love doing this one. Thank you, Warrior King, for submitting a team review. We appreciate it. You guys can submit your blueprints. And again, we charge $20 to get them on live stream. So $20 over what your minimum blueprint is, and it'll get you on. So. All right, next one. How many do we have?
I think we have 3 more.
3 more. All right, let's keep going.
Straw Hat Pirates, Frank R3.
All right.
Straw Hat Pirates.
Yeah, this is Frank's. Frank's, what's up, buddy? Frank was one of the guys that was absolutely trashing us in the comments the other day. So I messaged him and I was like, hey, sorry. Straw Hat Pirates. Here we go. All right, Frank, you're getting what you wanted.
That's a nice name right there.
It is nice.
Straw Hat.
On the tail end of my rebuild, what should I do with my 2025 picks? Any trade recommendations? Good questions here.
Did you
I'm
get
from
a super chat?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Which if he's on the list, then we will. But I just told him we're just doing the ones on the list. Any trade recommendations? I'm from Chicago. Caleb and Rowe are pretty untouchable. Would prefer to keep Gibbs. He's one of my favorite players. All right. I'll be honest with you. We won't. That's not a reason we're not going to tell you to trade Gibbs if we need to. And also not a reason for we're gonna be honest with you about this. So if it involves trading one of your beloved Bears, we're gonna have to tell you. Let's get into it though. Caleb Williams and Brock Purdy. QB room, that's a 7 or an 8. And Aiden O'Connell without a good backup, I'd probably give that I'll let you decide. 7 or 8. Probably 7.
That's a 7.
Yeah. Gibbs, Brooks, again, wow. What are the odds sometimes with these things?
I know. Lloyd. Brendo,
so
Zeke.
like that to me, since you don't have the Derrick Henry
7.
there, that's
6
probably a 6 or a 7 for me. I'll probably go 7 still.
That's fine.
Wide receiver, London, Odunze, Flowers, Worthy, Polk, Leggett. That's a pretty good.
And even Michael Wilson. Jamison Williams has value. Dontavion Wicks has value.
Pretty good room with no really
7.
true stud. I think that's a 7.
You know what I'm sniffing here?
Well-rounded.
Njoku, that's a 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10. Give it a 4.
Yeah.
That's a well-rounded team.
Even with the 4 at tight end?
Yes, because tight end is the least. You can still get production at tight end with a 4 out of 10.
It's a non-tight end premium, actually. So
yeah, that's a well-rounded team.
I would actually score him higher at tight end for a non-tight end premium, but I don't think it matters. But
5 out of 10 if you want to. Yeah. It's well-rounded.
Okay. Who do we recommend here? So for this well-rounded team, we do have to determine his 3-year outlook because it's kind of variable. So you have 2 firsts and your first next year. So I'm glad you have 2 firsts. I'm keeping those first.
Well-rounded is, in theory, it's always a locked outlook because it's one of those locked 4 archetypes.
So what's the outlook for this?
Contend, rebuild.
I really don't see this team contending this year, but I mean, I guess I could.
Really?
I guess he could.
Oh, I see this team contending this year. Absolutely.
Brooks. Yeah.
Got upside with Drake. You got upside with Flowers.
I guess he needs work.
You do have some younger guys at wide receiver, but that's not something that isn't fixable.
I worry about the flex spot is my problem with this one. Because at this rate, you're flexing Worthy, Polk, Leggett, Wilson. And that's weaker.
He does have a lot of young guys. It could be a future value.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Caleb Williams, that would make more sense too. Caleb Williams, Jonathan Brooks in your starting lineup. Odunze in your starting lineup. Worthy in your starting lineup. Polk or Leggett being flexed. I've already mentioned 6 guys that are potentially in your starting lineup.
I think future value fits.
Future value.
Because he's got multiple firsts as well. That fits to me better.
That's true.
And then so I think I lean rebuild contend on this one because I think you may.
Yeah, that's a locked.
Okay, so
3-year outlook. Good. That's the future value.
Okay,
outlook.
so now we kind of are like in the mindset of for this team like we're gonna accumulate value.
The ones that have different 3-year outlooks depending on the situation that you choose are your positional ones. So the ones that are your corners.
Gotcha. So are you moving off of David Njoku when you're trying to accumulate value for a year?
Not when he isn't worth anything. But
is he going to be worth more now than he is next year? Because like, do you go and get?
Because sometimes I do recommend that people pivot off of him.
Yeah, more so on contenders probably.
Gibbs is a guy again though that I'm potentially looking at moving off of.
All right, we'll do that here. Then. So let's just go for Gibbs. I think you down tier to either wide receiver, like picks and wide receivers. Yeah. So I think you down tier to a wide receiver like. AJ Brown, if you can swing it, maybe aim a little bit younger than that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of guys in the 3rd. Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, Neighbors is an interesting one. You can. Well, he already has.
Waddle.
London's generally our favorite target. There,
Waddle's a good one for this team.
It's true because he'll only continue to increase in value as Tyreek Hill gets older.
So I'm gonna say yeah. Gibbs, try to down tier to Jalen Waddle. It should be a down tier though. Don't make that 1-for-1 trade. All right.
Jamison Williams and Dontavion Wicks. Let's target them or package them together, please. And let's go for some fresher assets. To me, I know Dontavion Wicks going into his 2nd year, So he's still young. Jameson Williams, this is his year to finally be productive. I'm moving off of JMO. There's too many valuable guys going around JMO for me. So I'm looking at his price right now. I just can't get behind it at the moment. Where is he? He's going around Deontay Johnson, Njoku, of course, Alvin Kamara, Marquise Brown, B-Rob, Javonte, a lot of guys down the line too. Like Polk, who you already have Polk. But if you package him with Dontavion Wicks, you can up tier and you can get a younger guy like, gosh, there's so many old guys going all in the same range and it's really annoying. Jeez. You know what? I'm targeting rookie picks. You're a future value team. I'm targeting rookie picks with Dontavion Wicks and Jameson Williams. Let's go get future seconds. We know what's going to happen to those seconds. They're going to increase in value. That's what I'm doing here, and that's going to be one of my targets for you is 2025 rookie picks for sure. And then we're going to go the last guy that I'm going to have you move off of. You have so many rookies that I might pivot off one of those rookies and I'll try to go get a proven player. I'm just trying to figure out.
I mean, I think that's good too. But like again, proven players in that range are typically vets.
Except for Jaden Reed going in the range of that cluster of wide receivers.
I mean, you could package a couple of them.
Well, Worthy's going right where Reed is going, but I like Worthy's price. Would you rather? Let's play the would you rather game.
Okay.
Would you rather down tier from Purdy or pivot off of one of your rookie wide receivers?
I'd probably pivot.
You pivot off one of your rookie wide receivers?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Worthy? Gosh, I can't get behind Worthy. I'm not pivoting off Worthy. Value upside for all of your receivers. I'm struggling with this one, man. This one's tough. Williams and Purdy. Purdy's safe. Let's do this. Let's down tier from Caleb Williams. We talked about how you're concerned. You got some concern at QB anyways. Let's down tier from Caleb. And let's get one of those second round QBs, second round values that has contract insulation. There are so many quarterbacks that have contract insulation going in that range right now. I'm thinking, which contract QB would you go for there? Would you go for Lawrence? Or is his buy window kind of closed?
I don't think his buy window is closed at all. I think he's still going at a very reasonable price. So,
because you're essentially getting Trevor Lawrence plus. Like, that's just crazy to me. That's crazy to me. And then let's go get Jaden Reed as well. I think he's a good price. So that's going to be our breakdown for your team here with some additional suggestions and comments here. I think you're not necessarily playing the long game. Let's make sure you're playing for next year.
Yeah.
That's really important. That's really important. This is not a multi-year rebuild. Don't kick the can down the road too far.
Yeah. I agree.
And then I would say, for the most part, let's shy away from running back a bit for just for a little bit longer, unless you're investing in more rookies. Even if you get a guy like, for example, Trey Benson. Like, if you go and you invest in him, I'm fine with that. And at the tight end position, look, even though we don't have him as a, guy that you have to hard sell, I would still consider moving off of David Njoku and bolstering your other positions. Specifically quarterback and wide receiver, because those are your most value insulated positions. So that's going to be how we break down your team for this one. Is a tough one, because there's a lot of guys that you have on here that are really good values that we think, for the most part, are just holds, but you do want to play the market here and see if you can't get some safe value while you're building value on top. So
yeah, absolutely. All right, there you go. We got your review. Appreciate it. All right, what's next?
Next up, we have Flockomatic Sleeper Egg Specs.
Egg specs?
Yeah, sleeper
Egg specs. Okay, here we go. Sleeper X. Oh, I get it. Okay, that one didn't go through yet, so I'll check the other one. Oh, yeah. Here we go. All right, I've got yours in progress. Let's pull this thing up and let's take a look. So first of all, for your community rankings, looking at this, let's see, Sleeper Egg specs, you're 9th, so that's not bad. Let's look at my rankings here. Second to last. Okay, so let's roll with the community rankings. Let's see kind of where you fall here in terms of value, and let's start by grading your positions, and let's get you a team archetype. So first of all, Jalen Hurts and Baker Mayfield and Justin Fields, I would give that a solid 6. Jalen Hurts pretty much carrying, and then after that, Baker having good depth, but then you don't have anybody after that. So I'd give your quarterback room a 6 there. For running back, Breece Hall, Jonathan Brooks, Kendre Miller. I would probably go about a 7. Same thing we were kind of giving the other ones with those similar value builds. At wide receiver, Tank Dell, Jaden Reed, JSN, Jameson Williams. Wow, you got some guys from that class.
6 QB, you said. RB.
6.
RB at 6 as well.
Yeah, I did 7 because it's pretty much exactly like the Gibbs ones. But
yeah. Oh yeah, you're right.
And then for wide receiver, I'd probably go 5 for this one.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a 5.
Yeah, it looks like a 5 to me. You've got some decent guys
actually,
in there.
Maybe even a 4. Because there's no premier guys. It's Tank Dell, it's Jaden Reed, it's JSN, and that's it.
Yeah, I think
I'd go 4 actually.
And then tight end.
Trey McBride, that's an 8 out of 10. Automatic.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
And then you got all your future picks as well, so we're not worried there.
So the numbers in the picks are screwing me up.
I know.
He's got one. He's got his 25.
He has all his future picks.
So average draft count. So team archetype.
He's not contending this year.
No, so he's.
Is he?
That looks like.
Am I crazy?
It looks like no. It looks like a closer to future value team to me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that's a. So you said that was a what? Rebuild, contend.
It's future value, but you're too strong on the running back side, so you know what our recommendations are gonna be. Get ready for it.
All right. So first move that we're gonna recommend, I'm gonna say move off of Breece Hall, and I'm gonna target a more value insulated wide receiver.
Cornerstone wide receiver. Seriously,
I would say Puka.
Yeah,
I would say Puka is my target on this team. I'm gonna keep Jonathan Brooks on this team. Right? You keep Jonathan Brooks on a future value team. I think he's going to increase in value a ton.
Yep,
so
I agree.
Baker for sure. Same thing. Kind of seeing this trend with Baker. And for Baker, you can trade him and go get. You've got a guy in that range in Jaden Reed.
Let's get a higher upside. Let's get someone with higher upside. Like Baker Mayfield has a very cap ceiling.
And it doesn't have to be a quarterback.
It doesn't have to be, but I mean, goodness.
We did Rashee Rice for this one earlier.
I still think Bryce Young is a good target for this guy.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Are we moving off both QBs? Down tier accumulate value. Because there's no wide receivers I'm moving off of. There's no more RBs I'm moving off of. We're going to stick with the usual here. And I think you're going to be really, really well off if you down tier from Jalen Hurts. So let's get another guy. I mean, heck, just get another contract insulated guy. You want safety? Justin Herbert is a perfect guy to invest in because you know exactly what he's going to do.
There you go.
And you're getting a lot on top. So, gosh, what wide receiver am I targeting on top of Herbert when I'm giving up Jalen Hurts?
4th, 5th round.
Perfect target for him.
Boom. This is just falling into place. I love it.
Yes. I can see this already.
This team with those guys automatically becomes a winner next year. I love it. So, again, Breece Hall, Baker, Jalen Hurts, mostly down tiers there. Justin Herbert, Bryce Young, Puka Nacua, T. Higgins are going to be our targets here. And then obviously, when those guys say yes or no or whatever, we'll focus on some new targets. But
yeah, so I would definitely be actively exploring trades.
Yes.
For goodness, I cannot type and talk at the same time. Actively explore trades to move off of Justin Fields and Jamison Williams.
There you go.
Both of those guys for future rookie picks.
Yes. So basically chase draft capital for some of the dart throws. That's what they are. They're dart throws. I would say if you have enough value on this team to where if you make the right moves, you'll be contending in a year easily. So definitely focus on making as many trades as you can to turn this into a 1-year rebuild only. This is not a multi-year rebuild. This is not a hard rebuild team. And then I would say
value upside at wide receiver is everything.
I think so too. And you've got some of that.
Don't target guys that have hit their value ceiling.
He's got good value upside with these top three in my opinion. So after that, we start, moving off some of these guys. So, all right.
Last one here.
Flockomatic. Appreciate you, man. He's one of our domain mother flockers. We love having him around. So glad you got another one of these. We'll start cranking these out for you guys. All right. Last one. What's the last one here? I'm working on another one, but I might not get to it tonight.
Yeah, so we're going to go with YDR. WHY.
Oh, Y. Oh, yeah, YDR. There you go. I wonder what that stands for. Actually, he sweetened the trade I took. The calc says I robbed him. I'm shopping Bijan. I haven't. Okay, so this must be backwards. Shopping Bijan. I have an offer involving Ken Walker and Flowers. I sent vets. Interesting. All right, so let's take a look at this team. It's from our guy, Di Ross. It's 14. Oh, it's our first 14 man we've done live. Tier PPR. Interesting. High value team, no quarterback. Option to trade Rome for Bryce Young and 2 future thirds. Rome for Young. Okay, so yeah, you probably don't want to do that, but let's get into some moves you can make here. So the 14 team again, YDR. So hard to see this. First. There, I was looking elsewhere for it. In my rankings, you are. Where did he go?
He's right in the middle. Smack in the middle.
Thank you. Right in the middle. Okay,
is this a 14 team?
This is a 14 team.
Okay.
Yeah, 14 team, half PPR, but it's tiered. Start 9, Superflex, tight end premium. All right. Let's see.
Let's review this team. He's up top.
Thank you. I'm trying to triple
Bryce Young,
multitask.
Penix, Minshew, Rattler, Zach Wilson, Jameis.
4?
That's a, oh my goodness, no, that's a
3.
2 or 3 out of 10.
I'd go 3.
Okay.
Bijan, Eckler, Algier. I would go, you got Bijan, 4. Lower?
4 or 5, yeah.
I go 4. Wide receiver, you got Marvin Harrison Jr., you got Jordan Addison, you got Xavier Worthy.
Keenan Allen, AD Mitchell.
Probably a
That's a 5.
Yeah.
Goddard and JT Sanders. That's a 3 or 4.
3, yeah.
Yeah.
Tons of picks, though, right? So this must be why.
Future value, baby.
What's the difference between me and the community rankings on this one? I'm curious. Like, where does it really all go wrong? The picks are so much. That's really skewing my rankings so much. I guess I need to freaking figure that out.
I have no idea, dude.
But I do trust this better, so with the picks especially. So,
I mean, I do agree with him being in the middle of the pack compared to being the most valuable team.
So he's only got 2 extra.
I think you're correctly valuing picks, and I think the picks
are overvalued.
And the community value are being overvalued.
Okay, so for this team, this looks like a future value team again. Actually, it's our 3rd one in a row, I think. But what do you think?
Yeah, no, this is 100% future value.
Okay, so you wouldn't throw it as a hard rebuild because I think you've got Bijan, you've got Marv, and you've got Addison, you've got Ward. So you've got some valuable assets with some picks.
Yes.
Okay, so my first move here, I'm definitely down tiering from Bijan. I'm definitely down tiering from Marvin Harrison Jr. And so those are my 2. Actually, those are my 2 sells, and I'll let you pick the last one. But I'm down tiering across the board there.
Okay. let me look here. Addison, I'm getting a higher upside wide receiver. Done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his value is just so low, but I get it. Like, yeah, that's definitely a move to be making.
100%.
All right, so targets. So for Bijan, so I'm definitely targeting wide receivers and quarterbacks here. In terms of quarterback, there's not a ton of quarterbacks I'm targeting. Most of the ones I like for rebuilds are going in the first 2 rounds. Drake May, though, is a good target for this team.
That is a good target.
In terms of at wide receiver, I'm trying to think a little bit lower. T. Higgins, I think, again, for a future
Drake
value
London
team.
is lower.
Drake London, thank you. That's what I wanted.
I would still... Oh, man, if he's down, I'm still having him target Jonathan Brooks. No, that's too many rookies. If you're having him target May, do you want him to target Brooks? They're both good values.
Yeah, Brooks is a good
one.
Go
Jonathan Brooks.
I think on a one like this, you have to.
Now let's go for another proven wide receiver here, man. That still has some upside.
I think so too.
You're moving off 2 premier guys.
You could Jade Reed from Jordan Addison. You could do a pivot there.
Real good asset here. I think you can get a higher, more valuable asset than Jaden Reed.
I think you go Brian Thomas Jr. then. That's my opinion.
No, I'm thinking even higher because he's moving off Bijan and Marv, and we're having him down tier to London, Brooks, and May, and moving off Addison. He has a lot more value to play with than this. I mean, I'm thinking higher.
I mean, Garrett Wilson is in that tier.
Is Ayuk a horrible option for him? When we know he's in a year contract?
Yeah, I mean, it's risky. We don't typically recommend that one, but
that's true.
I don't like doing the risk on this side.
I'm good with Garrett Wilson.
I think Garrett Wilson's a good one if you're aiming high. Okay, so there you go. Let's see. Your depth score, I'm going to give you, you don't have much depth here. I'm going to give you a 2. Yeah. And then your suggestions and comments. I think that we do have to keep in mind that this is a 14-team league, so it does skew things a little bit. However, with a 14-team, and let's see how many you're starting. You're still starting 9. So you're 9 right now in a super flex. You got Young and Penix, Bijan, Marv, Addison, Worthy, Keenan Allen, A.D. Mitchell or Eckler, and then Goddard. So, you do need to down tier and get some extra pieces to plug in there, in my opinion. So I would say definitely emphasize having good depth as you build your contending roster. That would be my first suggestion in comments. I'd also say don't trade any of your picks. Hold. And if you got anything else to add to that.
I personally would just keep focusing on your number one top priority is quarterback. You've got to figure out quarterback. I know you've got some future potential value with Michael Penix, but that's pretty much in the air. Bryce Young, we like his value still in the air. I mean, if you could land, heck, if you moved off of Bijan and you got a cornerstone QB instead, I wouldn't have an issue with that at all. Or even a safe guy like Jared Goff. So I would definitely focus on that there. Yeah. So...
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a 14 team, so this is a little bit trickier. You're not playing with as much depth here for sure. But all right, there we go. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for submitting for a blueprint, and that was our last one to knock out. I think we are going to go ahead and knock out. I think we're going to go ahead and knock out this one I'm messaging about because I definitely we're having a problem with it showing up, but I think it's on the website's end and not our end. Or not on his end. So let's do Peeping Tomlins real quick. All right, Peeping Tomlins. Start from our guy Just Dig. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for buying a blueprint. This is going to be a 12-team PPR start 8. So you're only starting 8, and this is a non-superflex. This is a 1 QB league. This is non-tight end premium as well. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at your team. So in a 1 QB, Joe Burrow is your quarterback. 1, that's a solid 8, right? With JJ as backup. Would you agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 8 at quarterback. At running back, Gibbs, and then nobody. So that's a 5. Jones is startable. Warren is startable. Jalen Wright is a good piece. Kamani Vidal is a good piece. That's a 5 for value. Okay. So for wide receiver, Jamar Chase, Nico Collins, Rome Odunze, Keon Coleman, George Pickens, you got a lot of good receivers there, honestly. And in a 1 QB league, this is what you want to see. That and the running back. I think that this one that's a 7
at running back.
At wide receiver.
Yeah.
Wide receiver is a.
What'd you give him at running back?
5.
5.
Yep. So 8, 5, and 7 so far. And then at tight end, you got Evan Ingram. And Evan Ingram, I think, is a solid 5 or 6. Yeah, 6 was what I was thinking. And you don't have your first. So for this archetype, I think I'm going to go wide receiver factory for this one.
Oh, yeah. You got a ton of depth.
Got a ton of good. Yeah, I love Jermaine Burton, high upside. I love Jalen Polk, high upside. Like, your bottom tier guys here are all, high upside. So I like that.
Is this contend reload or contend rebuild?
This is going to be a contend rebuild, I feel like.
Okay.
With the potential for it to change since we're back to reload. Yeah, I mean, so in terms of look to trades, I'll let you pick the first one here.
Yep. One of my favorite things to do here is quarterback. I like packaging my quarterback depth in a 1 QB and getting a high rushing upside QB, hands down. So I am packaging Burrow, and I'm packaging one of McCarthy and Levis, and I'm getting Anthony Richardson and Kyler Murray, hands down. What I'll probably do here is I like the idea of holding McCarthy just because he's so interesting to me. And I'm going and getting, would you go for Kyler or would you pay up for AR? The rushing upside.
Kyler. I think if you can get, whichever one's cheaper, honestly, is my
Kyler's
choice.
Much cheaper.
Then there you go. That's what I'm doing.
So yeah, that's always my target. A rushing QB. Get as many rushing QBs
like
as you can.
Upside. Okay, I'm going to go Jamar Chase pivot next.
Yeah.
Giving up the stack, which is fine. I'm going to go down tier 2. If you can down tier to Puka or Amon-Ra St. Brown. Honestly, just pivot to Amon-Ra if you can. That's what I like for this team.
Okay. You know what mine is? Nico Collins. I want more targets, baby. I want more targets, and
so you're going to go Michael Pittman
down tier to get more targets, and you can get a Michael Pittman, or you can even get, who are some other target hogs? Calvin Ridley is such a target hog. It's like not even fair.
Yeah, that's a good one as well.
So, should we have him target a running back instead?
Of who?
Instead of Ridley.
I mean,
should we have him go Pollard?
Oh, he definitely needs a running back.
Let's have him go Pollard.
Should we have him aim for Rachaad White instead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I think that's smart. I think it's smart. And honestly, I think I would want a better third running back in there. So we just kind of maybe, I would say in my suggestions and comments here, I definitely want to say play with your running back depth a little bit.
Cheap veteran running back targets.
Cheap veteran. Yeah, there you go. Which I like Jones for that, but I also like guys like Derrick Henry, if you can get him cheap enough. But even guys like James Conner.
I'm writing them all down.
Yeah.
If you want to just read them.
I'm trying to think. James Conner. Who else is old in that range?
Mixon, Kamara, Pollard,
Moss. Kamara, thank you. Yeah. Your brain is thinking of those quicker. You don't have your first this year, so do everything you can to win your league.
Yes. That's a big one for sure.
The big one here.
And then I would say, oh goodness, there's a screaming pivot for me as George Pickens.
Yeah.
Let's say this.
Just say consider
let's consider moving off George Pickens for the right price. Try to get some more target opportunity. Well, he has target opportunity technically, but try to get a guy that's a little more less. Woo. Oh. You know how we feel about George Pickens, but
right.
You got something there?
No, I'm triple tasking again.
Okay, cool.
But
yeah, so that's going to be our feedback there for you overall. Your wide receiver factory contend rebuild with the potential to potentially reload, potential to potentially reload. I would also say that I like that your running back one is Jahmyr Gibbs. You might want to consider moving off of him and getting a bell cow. If you are worried about your depth and who you may be flexing, you might want to down tier from Jahmyr Gibbs and get like a Jonathan Taylor and Rachaad White. Maybe that's how you achieve a guy like Rachaad White on top of another high producing running back. So the feedback there we have for you.
Yeah. All right. There we go. That should be all of them from the other night. If you bought one during the live stream the other night and we somehow missed you, you can let me know. I can double check that. But let's go back and answer a couple questions. We do have a super chat from Corey. Sorry, Corey, we're in the middle of a team review. I did see your super chat. What's up, fellas? What's up, Corey? Good to see you. Just got Bo Nix at the 207 in a super flex. Who? How? I've never seen him go that low. Have you seen him go that low?
No.
Totally fleeced the other guys in the startup. Wow.
In a 10 team, maybe, but like.
Good night. Good job, man. Good job. Good to see you, Corey. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, guys, doing Dynasty for the first time ever this year. Got the first overall pick on the startup. Any suggestions and advice? Take the value that falls to you. In Dynasty, don't pick your favorite players. Don't pick redraft focus guys. Use keep, trade, cut. Use the flock rankings. Take a value.
Yeah. What was the name of this guy?
That was
12 team.
That was I don't want to say his name wrong. Just Dig. That's his.
Dig.
That's. I'm pretty sure that's his flock name too. Just Dig.
JUSDIG.
Yep.
Do you have it on the screen? Just Dig 12 team.
Here you go.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
I just want to make sure I'm correctly tracking here.
Yeah, I can double check it real quick. Got a couple more questions I do want to answer. Just Dig. Yep. That's
Thank
it.
you.
Okay. So we did get a question about. First, do you rate teams for the blueprints that aren't on Sleeper? We absolutely do. I can show you how to do that. If you do rate other teams not on Sleeper, do you rate them if they have IDP? Yes, we do. We typically give you a little bit of blurb on IDP, but we don't go through and like grade that specifically positionally. We typically focus more on the positions that are kind of uniform across, but I'll show you real quick how to do that. So when you're on the flock site and you have a team that's not a Sleeper team, you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to go up here, team review. My team is not on Sleeper. You're going to link your screenshots to your team name, do your league settings, and then all the same way, right? Promo code domain per usual.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how you do it. So, yeah, we'd be happy to do a team that's not on Sleeper for you. You should submit it. We've got quite a few in our queue right now that we just have screenshots for. I mean, we used to do all screenshots. So, good question. Appreciate it. And we just did this one, so shout out Justin. And sorry that we had like a 10-minute period where we didn't have anything out. So, all right. Well, with that being said, like I said, if you guys want a live stream blueprint, you can now get those. It's the minimum price for your blueprint plus $20 at least. We were just charging $20 to do these live on camera for you, and otherwise we just do them during the day when we're working. So if you want it live on camera, it's $20 extra. You send us proof that you did that, and we'll do them on the live stream. Happy to offer that for you. We'll make a video right after this, giving you guys a little bit more information, and we'll put it on the Discord so you can see it.
Heck yeah.
So, all right, yo, it's been great hanging out with you. Sorry I missed that. I feel so bad about the freaking screen, man.
It's all right.
Can't make mistakes. It's bad. Okay, we appreciate you guys. Video coming out tomorrow. What is tomorrow's video? Tomorrow's video, we're going to do the rookie video. I think we're going to do the rookie video. So some cool. Really good potential rookie trade targets tomorrow. That's what we're going to be having for you in the morning. So
super cool.
Super awesome. That's a good one. We should do a super cool, super awesome t-shirt.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Appreciate it. Thanks so much for hanging out tonight. We'll see you later.